Jessica. It's good to see you today.
Thanks, you too. How's it going?
Great. I've had a great week. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, let's jump into coaching, and why don't you tell me what's our opportunity today? What are we going to talk about?
Well, today I wanted to talk about how I am in the market of buying a new car, and I'm actually going to go to the dealership tomorrow and try and pick one out. But I'm feeling a little insecure and scared. There's a couple things that I'm really hesitant about, and I really don't, I want to feel confident when I go in tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm hearing that we are going to talk about purchase of a car tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sounds like you know which kind.
I have a pretty good idea.
Okay.
Yes.
And so our job is to get you to a place where you're a little more calm and confident.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, Jessica, we've been coaching for a while, and every once in a while I take you through models. Like I think the last time we coached, we went through the today and not today model. And I'm thinking there's a model that we could go through today to kind of risk these scary things, or to analyze these scary things and see what kind of big risk you're facing for tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, so the first thing is, what kind of car did you decide to buy?
Well, I think I'm going to go with a Kia. It seems like they're pretty affordable, and it seems like they're kind of coming up in the world. They're not, one of the tried and true Honda or Ford, but it seems like they're getting really good scores, I guess, or reviews on their most recent cars.
I've seen some consumer reports. I've heard that. It sounds like what I'm hearing from you is you feel pretty confident in this decision about the Kia. It's just, and I could be reading between the lines, it sounds like there's a little trepidation because knowing you like I do, it sounds like this is the first time you've bought a brand new car?
Yeah.
Okay.
I must have been very transparent. I haven't ever bought a new car, and I'm really nervous about, I guess, confronting a car dealer. They seem really scary to me.
Well, I hear that. They can seem frightening, and your first time to buy a new car, I would bet there's some new fears. So using this model, let's get in there and look at what are some of your big fears or the risks or the scary pieces as you think about going in tomorrow and negotiating your first new car purchase.
Okay.
So maybe let me restate that because there's a lot packed in there. As you think about going in tomorrow, what kinds of things are scaring you today?
Well, like I mentioned before, I don't feel like I have the confidence that I need to go up against a car dealer. I think they might be pushy, so I guess I really just need to be more confident in my agenda and how to handle the negotiation, I guess.
Okay, so one thing I'm hearing is there's a risk factor here, or a scary thing about being confident in handling yourself against a car dealer.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else comes up that says, okay, this is a little scary, makes me not as confident?
Well, I'm not quite sure exactly what model I'm going to get.
Okay.
And so I want to make sure I actually get the best one for me. I want one that's going to be reliable, that's going to fit my style, and also I think something that's going to get really great gas mileage.
Okay, so something that fits you, and the model needs to be reliable, fit your style, and get good gas mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we have two risks so far, two things that are making you scared. Your confidence in handling yourself against a dealer, figuring out the right model so it's reliable, fits you, and has gas mileage. Are there other things that might be on your list of making you a little afraid?
Oh, yeah. I guess the biggest one also is affording it and getting the payment to the amount that I need so I can make the payments every month. So affordability, I guess, and making sure the payment is right for me.
Okay, and as you see, I'm writing these all out in this thought map model. And so do you feel like I have the top three, or can you sense that there are more besides being able to get the payment where you need, the best model for you, and upping your confidence? Is there anything else?
I would say that those are the big three ones that I feel like if I could conquer these and become more clear, will be very successful tomorrow.
Okay, well, let's see if we can give you that clarity so you have a clear path and more confidence tomorrow. I'm going to ask you some questions, and we're going to rate these things that are in this model, Jessica. The first question is, I'm going to ask you a question about impact.
Okay.
Meaning, let's assume that each of these things happen in the worst case scenario. They happen poorly.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
And we're not saying that they are. What we're going to do is take you to the worst case scenario and let you kind of look at what could really happen if things mess up, and then we'll come back to what's the probability later of will they really happen that bad.
Okay.
So the first thing you have to do is, as I ask these questions, you need to assume that this thing did happen, and then you need to tell me how high is the impact on you in feeling successful. It is a high negative impact, or is it a low negative impact? Is it a 1, a 3 would be medium, or a 5 would be high? So you have 3 choices. 1, low, 3, medium, 5, high. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see if this clarifies itself even more as I ask this question. So let's say you go in tomorrow and your confidence is in the toilet and you don't feel good against the dealer and you don't negotiate really well. Is the impact high on your outcome or low on your outcome?
Well, I feel like the impact would be high.
Okay.
Because if I lose against the dealer, it also affects my other risk.
Oh, that's true. So I'm going to give that a 5.
Okay.
I'll mark a 5 by that one.
Okay.
When you think about affording the car and getting the payment that you need, and let's say that doesn't happen, is that a high impact on your success or a low or a medium impact?
That one also is pretty big. I'm not quite sure if I should put it at the very top or somewhere in the middle, but I mean, payment is a big deal, and if I'm buying a car that I can't afford, that is really scary.
And you're kind of on a fixed income with your salary.
Uh-huh.
So would you rate that as a 3? Or I'll even give you a chance for a 4 in between a 3 and 5, or a 5?
I think that would be a 5 also.
Okay. All right. It seems like you really know what the scary risks are here because they're all coming out of 5. Let's test this next one, should we?
Yeah.
You want to get the best model for you. You want it to be reliable, fit your style, and give you the type of gas mileage you want. Is that a 1, low impact if that doesn't happen, or a medium impact, or let's say you don't get the model, is that a high impact?
I think this would be the lower of the impact because, I mean, I don't get the exact look that I want. That's fine. Gas mileage is important, but, transportation is most important. So as long as I can get around.
Oh. So how low is the impact? Is it a 1 or a 3 or somewhere in between?
Can I do it like a 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's actually, Jessica, why I give you the choices of 1, 3, and 5, is so if you need a little leeway and it doesn't fit neatly with a 1, 3, and 5, you have that middle ground.
Okay.
So you have one risk that's high on impact. That's the confidence. If you don't go in there confidently and can't handle yourself with a dealer, that helps you not meet your objective.
Yeah.
It's a high impact if you don't get a car you can afford because that affects probably the rest of your financial picture.
Yeah.
And it's a low, a 2 impact if you don't get the model that fits your style. It sounds like reliable and gas mileage might be a little more important, but that's lower.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's turn the table on the question. And the question changes, but the rating stays the same.
Okay.
The question is, what's the probability? What's the probability that you're going to go in there tomorrow and blow it and not be confident and not be able to hold your agenda against the dealer? Is that a high probability that you won't be able to do it or a low probability?
Well, seeing as I am a little nervous going in, I'm not going to go by myself, and I'm a first-time new car buyer. I think it would be smart that I'm not going to go by myself. So, does that affect my probability?
It sounds like you already have a plan. Do you have somebody going with you?
I do, and I have someone with experience in selling and buying cars.
Okay.
So hopefully they can give me a little insight.
All right, so with this person by your side, giving you insight, are they going to negotiate with you?
They will. That's the big one, is they're going to go in and help me with the negotiation.
So how did you arrive at this point where you decided you'd have a partner?
Well, I'm a little bit of a pushover and a little timid, so going up against a big car dealer, I know that if I went in by myself, I wouldn't probably get the best deal that I wanted. So I needed a little help.
Oh, so you've already kind of mitigated against this. You've already thought this one out.
I guess so.
Yeah, okay. So the probability of you getting taken advantage tomorrow is a medium, a low, or a high. How would you rate that one?
Low probability.
That's a 1?
Let's do a 2 because you never know what car dealer you're going to get. And we all know how car dealers are.
Okay, so I'm going to reflect back to you. It sounds like you're taking somebody in. You still have some unknowns there, so you're going to put that as a 2, not a 1.
I think so.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. In order to get the best model, it's reliable, fits you, your style, and the gas mileage. What's the probability here that you're going to be able to get the reliable, fit your style, low gas mileage sort of car tomorrow?
I think it's a pretty good
probability
because, I mean, they label and I'll have the whole lot to pick and choose from.
Okay, so the probability that you're not going to get the car you want is at a high, medium, or low?
Oh, low. I think I will have a good chance of ending up with the car I want.
Is that a 1?
Yes.
Okay, so you notice I kind of switched the question around, and I did that, Jessica, so you could see the difference in your responses.
I see. Oh, okay.
And do you feel good now about a 1 being there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, so it sounds like your confidence is pretty high that you're going to get the model you want. That's a lower risk. Not as scary.
No.
Okay. So here comes the next risk. What's the probability that you're going to get a car you can't afford? Is that a high, medium, or low?
It's I think it's I'm not going to get the car I'm going to get.
What's the probability that this thing about you not getting a car you want is that high, medium, or low?
I think it's kind of a medium. I think.
Okay.
It's a teeter-totter. I'm not quite sure until I get there, but...
Is that the same kind of thing as having your agenda against the dealer?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel a little better having someone go in with a negotiation, so I guess with that considered, I think it's a pretty good probability that I'll do okay with my finances. I mean, that's why they're trying to sell me a car is for money, so I think I'll have a pretty good fighting chance.
Okay, so the probability of you not getting the price you want, is that higher, medium, or low?
Low.
Low. Is that a 1 or a 2?
Let's do a 2.
Okay.
Still a little nervous.
Okay, still a little nervous. Now, let me make sure we have this right. The impact of you not going in and being confident with the dealer is a high impact. That happens, it can mess up the deal. So that's a 5.
Yeah.
The probability of you not having the confidence you've downrighted is to a 2 because you're taking someone with you. Does that sound right?
Yep.
The probability of you not getting the reliable, fit for your style, gas mileage car is a 2. Or, excuse me, the impact of you not getting that kind of car is a 2. The probability of you not getting that car is really low. It's a 1. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. The impact, if you get a car that is not in your price range, that's a high impact. That could really mess up the deal.
Yep.
The probability that that's going to happen is a low 2. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, we reviewed all this. All we have to do is a little simple math here. So your probability times impact, that's all we do is multiplication here. The risk, the amount for your confidence in going up against a dealer is at a 10, Jessica, 2 times 5. Your risk amount of not getting the most reliable, fit your style, gas mileage car is pretty low. It's only 1 times 2, which is a 2. Your risk probability versus impact, so the analysis of that is that it's going to be a 10 in terms of high risk or low risk in you not being able to have a car you afford. And how we look at that is that we draw this number line. And if we look at all the variables, with our low being 1 and our high being 5 that I gave you in the model, then that means that the highest risk would be a 25, right?
Yeah.
And the lowest risk would probably be a 1.
Okay.
So if we do this on a number line, and you get to see where your risks came out, let's just draw that picture right now and see, because your lowest risk was a 3. Your other 2 risks were 10s. What do you think is the middle between 1 and 25? What number comes to mind when we say that's the middle mark between 1 and 25?
I don't know, maybe 15?
Could be a 15. If we do the math, it might be 12 or 13. So we're going to put this as your middle area. So when you look at it, you have 3 risks. They're all below the middle area.
Okay.
I wonder
That's
what that
pretty good, right?
Does that feel good to you?
It feels better than having it on the other side of the half and half.
It does, yeah. And these 2 that are higher than this one might suggest something. Like if you have to focus somewhere tomorrow, what do you think you might want to focus on?
I think I'd focus on the higher of the 3.
Okay.
Because the 3 doesn't seem like it's too big of a deal, but the other 2 that are at 10 are.
Ah. So with that, now that you know that you need to make sure that you get the car in the price range and you can negotiate with a dealer, now that you know that, what are you going to do tomorrow to make sure that these risks don't blow your deal on the Kia?
I guess I'll just be very clear on what I want and need and go in with a game plan. I think that'll be a good idea.
And how are you going to get that game plan?
Well, I'll have to figure out exactly, I know how much I can spend a month, so I'll just have to be very firm on what my amount a month should be and, with taxes and everything included, so.
Okay. So clarity around that.
Yeah, and, let's see. And I think having the game plan will help my confidence in being able to negotiate with the dealer.
So your game plan is to really nail down the number.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your game plan for being more confident?
Well, to me, going in with just the game plan itself will actually give me more confidence.
Okay, so you feel like you have a game plan.
Yeah, and going in with that extra person, that friend of mine, will definitely help my confidence because I'll have a team player.
What do you think you need to do, if anything, to bring your team player onto the same game page that you have here?
I guess tell him about our session today and let him know what I've been through and what I've gotten more clear on.
Okay. I'm curious, how much of the conversation tomorrow are you going to lead and how much is your team player going to do the negotiation for?
I don't know. I don't really know. We'll see. He'll probably help lead and then I'll be the dictator on if I agree with what he's saying or not. But
is that something you guys might want to talk about beforehand?
Yeah, that would probably help.
Okay, so what are we setting down now as your plan for preparation tomorrow? What are your task items you want to leave with today?
Really nail down that number and stick to it of what I can afford a month for a payment.
Okay, got a note here for you.
And to add, add like the sales tax and all the other extra costs that come with buying a car to that amount. So I guess I can talk to my friend about that and talk to him, maybe go through a scenario of like what car dealers actually say and do and how they behave during a deal. So I know a little more what to expect and let him know exactly what I want my outcome to be so that he can help guide me through that.
Okay, I heard 2 things. You're going to take your sales tax amount and add it to the costs. Mm-hmm. Are you able to do that on your own or do you need help?
I think I can do that.
Okay. And you're also going to talk with your friend and have him on the same game plan, maybe role play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a time scheduled to meet with his friend?
No, but I can give him a call tonight and we can discuss when would be a good time to actually sit down and talk about this before we go in tomorrow.
Okay, I've asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
How prepared do you feel?
I feel better. I feel a little bit more clear on exactly what I'm going to go in expecting and doing, and I know exactly what my priorities are, so I feel better.
Okay. Have we achieved the success of having more clarity and a more clear path?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And how would you like me, we have the notes in front of us, is this something that you want to take with you? How do you want me to be supportive after this session?
Why don't you give me a call tomorrow night and ask me how I like my new car?
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Would you be able to send a picture?
Probably.
Okay. All right, Jessica. I have a lot of confidence. It sounds like this is a scary thing. You're 23.
Yep.
New car. I would be scared. I didn't buy a new car on my own until I was older than you. So
Oh, wow.
I have a lot of confidence that you've already thought this through. You brought it in. You knew you wanted to use it for coaching. It seems like there's a lot of competence here. You, even though you've never done it before, you kind of know what you need to be watching out for. So congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you for guiding me through it.
Yeah, and I will look forward to our phone call tomorrow and seeing what color and what make and what model and how good you make that car look.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.